I'm just going to start off by saying good evening, everybody. I'm seeing so many lovely, familiar faces, which is absolutely lovely to see those of you who are freezing in the southern hemisphere and those of us in the northern hemisphere who kind of have seen the sun and had a little bit of warmth today for the first time in about 2 weeks. So I'm just going to welcome, there's some people who are new to us. I'm really excited to see all of you. So welcome everybody to a long-awaited evening of tarot. I'm going to start off this evening, and I'd like to welcome all of you to Why Tarot, Why Not? An ancient tool for new vibrations. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cindy Holmes. I'm the director of the International School of Intuition and Healing. And tonight, as I say, it's a long-awaited masterclass that we're doing tonight, because Sola and I have been talking about tarot for a number of years. And I think the last time we actually did a masterclass with tarot was way back in lockdown, if I'm not mistaken. It's really some time back. And for those of you who don't know Soleil, she is a spiritual channel teacher and mentor. She is an accredited energy healer and tutor at the school. She's a Reiki master, a certified crystal healer, a natural psychic, and she began working intuitively at a very early age, reading tarot, and it's been over 3 decades that she has had a relationship with her deck of tarot cards, or decks of tarot cards. So I've on and off heard your story with your deck of cards, and I'm really excited tonight to hear about the story and this journey you've walked with this. And how can something that you did from a youngster really still be relevant today? So a big welcome to you. Thank you for tonight. I'm looking forward to July, which is the month of tarot. We've got exciting things happening. But why don't you tell us about your journey? Say hello to the crowd. And yeah, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to see familiar faces and new faces. Hello, it's so lovely to see you all. So this is, if you know me, if you've seen me before, I get very animated and excited about a lot of things. But I think it really says a lot about my love for tarot, the fact that I've been working with a tarot deck for 3 decades and I still am so excited, and I still feel that joy in sharing my passion, and I feel like I'm on a mission to get people to be as excited about tarot, and most importantly, to really have that deep connection that for me personally, and I know for a lot of my students and clients, has been life-changing. So I'm going to share a bit on my story, because I think my story is probably not very different from the story of a lot of other people that I hear. If you identify as an empath, an intuitive, you will know straight away what I'm going to talk about. I was just very open, very psychic, very intuitive when I was little, and it was so scary. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know what to do with it. I was just really, really scared. And something that is a gift, a quality, for me felt like almost like a curse. And I struggled to sleep, and I could feel people's energies. It just was really, really difficult. And so from a very early age, I intuitively decided to close down my intuition. And it was only when I discovered in my house a tarot deck that I still have now. It's a 1932 tarot deck. They used to belong to a relative that I've never met, because this lady died many years ago, and it was somehow magically passed down into my family, to my mom, and then to me. No one in my family reads tarot, so aside from these relatives. So I really feel like this deck was magically passed down to me. And when I discovered it, it was the early 90s. And so this is before, you know, mainstream internet, podcast, videos, ebooks, Amazon, all of the things that we now use to absorb information. So when I found this deck for me, it was something new. It was something current. It wasn't based on a book that was written by someone 20 years prior. So my interaction with tarot was always very much in the here and now, and always personal to me. And what was particularly helpful to me was, remember I said I was this intuitive person that was quite scared of being intuitive. It allowed me to create what I would now call an energetic management routine, or some energetic hygiene, so that I could open and close. And I felt like very much when I had the deck in my hands, okay, this is I'm working type of energy. I'm ready to receive messages, but then I would also close it and put it away and feel safe. So since the beginning, for me, as you can tell, it's been a journey of trust and really learning the tool personally in a current way. So yes, there are a lot of theories, there are a lot of books, there are a lot of scholars and academics, and 25 generations of descendants of 25 generations of psychics and tarot readers that have created content and information around tarot. But for me, it's always been, how do I apply this in the here and now? So over the last 3 decades, obviously I changed as a person. I moved from doing readings for myself. So some of you might be here this evening because you're interested in just reading for yourself. I then started reading for friends and family. And then, you know, I really felt like I wanted to expand my knowledge, started reading for others, and I started then teaching. And this is now probably, I wouldn't be able to give you like an exact number, but I know that I'm in the region of thousands of readings that are done for people, and I had hundreds of students at this point as well. So my intention this evening is to share a little bit of my story, but most importantly, to introduce you to the magic and the deep wisdom of tarot, and the way that we're going to work with these energies, these archetypes, is going to be current, is going to be easy and accessible, and it's going to be relevant to you. So that would be kind of my summary of how I came into tarot.
Thank you, Saleh. And you're going to now take us through a process, and you're going to tell us a little bit about how one uses these?
Yes. So if I had to summarize all the readings that I've done for myself, all the readings that I've seen my students doing, all the readings that I've done for people, there are 2 things that people always look for. One is hope. Hope that something can be different. Hope that something can be achieved. And 2, what is the next step that I can take to get there? When I put my cards back together and I go about my day, what is it the next little step that I can take? So bearing those 2 things in mind, and there will be a part of the evening where there is an indirect reading. We'll do like a collective energy reading. Kind of use this as your intention, and take that as the intention for the rest of the evening as well. Like, what is it that would bring you a little bit of hope for a dream, a desire, something that you're experiencing right now, and see if there is something that can maybe suggest something to you that you can use as a next step. And for this evening, I really want to focus on the fact that we are in such a profound time of transformation. And I know, Cindy, you and I have been going on about this for quite some time. Evolution, fifth dimension, upgrades, shifts in energy, ascension, all of that. And this kind of has called us collectively to change our practices, to look for new tools, new meditations, new energy, new everything. So we feel like we're constantly trying to adapt to how the external energy is changing. And a client of mine described it very well. She said to me, I do the same things, but I don't get the same rewards as I used to. And so with that constant seeking, there comes a level of exhaustion, I think, mental, emotional, spiritual exhaustion in terms of keeping up to date with what is the latest thing that I need to do for my healing, for my development, and for my clients, right? Because I see that there are a lot of healers and intuitives and practitioners here this evening. I recognize you from other courses and meetups. And how do we stay current for our clients as well, right? They come to us with new questions, new energetic entanglements. How do we stay relevant and current? And it can be quite exhausting to stay current, to always update. And the one thing, remember 30 years of using tarot, the one thing that I've used, that I've noticed in working with tarot is its profound ability of connecting with the language of the universe. And it's the way I describe it is almost like a device that is auto-updating, auto-upgrading. So you don't need a new deck. You can use the same one. And the way you receive the messages is going to be current. So once you make that connection with the tool, that device is always going to be automatically updated for you. So this is what we're going to, and I'll give you some practical example as well. So we're going to take the ancient wisdom into today's crazy fast vibration and fast time and expansive vibration, and take that into the focus of this evening.
Yeah.
How does
that sounds brilliant. I'm curious, like over the decades, you know, we talk about these 3 decades and this energetic connection that you have, and you know, just the way you talk. Do you want to talk a little bit more before we go into that? Because there feels like this energetic connection that feels really strong in your narrative, and I'm just curious around that.
So these 3 decades for me, and perhaps you can take one of my decades and you can kind of resonate with one of the things that I was feeling where you're at right now in your journey. When I first started, my first decade with tarot, I talk about this like it's a very long-term relationship or marriage. My first decade in that relationship was all about curiosity. Because imagine, I still have it, by the way, you know, if anyone wants to prove my 1932 deck still exists, still here. Curiosity or just finding this new tool, trying to figure out what it was, excitement, but also a great way of building confidence. So you might find that for you, as you approach tarot, you're now in that place where you're curious. You've read a little bit about it, you don't quite know what it is, but you also want to grow your confidence in that relationship. And for me, tarot really helped me feeling confident that I could manage my energy, particularly my intuition, and feel safe with myself and my intuition. So that in itself for me was just priceless gift that I received from tarot. And then the second decade of my relationship, I went more into a deeper emotional support and comfort that I received from the tarot. In my 20s, it was difficult. There were so many different changes, relationships, work, I moved to the UK, different country, different environment. Tarot really helped me see myself in the storm of chaos and ever-changing landscape. The world around me was uncertain, and it helped me see myself and my future. And that was deeply emotionally comforting. So if you are someone who is now working on your emotional roots, on your emotional grounding, on your identity and how you see yourself and how you see the world, how you see relationships with others, I think tarot has really a lot to offer. And I talk about these different aspects because one of the things that I hate is people think that tarot is just for predictions. Sure, you can get predictions. Yes, you can get, relationship advice, but it goes so much deeper than just that. And then my current decade with tarot has been more about expansion and higher consciousness. And as a more mature person, human being, energy and practitioner, it has been such a trusted compass and source of wisdom in the energetic shifts and expansions. I always know that I can rely on the archetypes of the tarot to help me guiding my expansion and my spiritual development, but also to help me guide my clients as they bring me things that maybe I never heard about before, because it's a new energetic shift and upgrade that they're going through. So this is how I've been using tarot over the last 3 decades. I'm excited to see what happens in the next decade. I don't know. But just something for you to reflect as you're approaching tarot. There are different levels, and I find and think that they're all life-changing. But one of these might be the one where you really feel is resonating with you right now, with where you are as a person, as a practitioner, as a human and spiritual being.
I want to just jump in there for a minute and talk about the archetypes, because I think the archetypes are really helpful in sort of removing yourself or some of your woundedness into having a metaphor that you can identify with, if you know what I mean. So taking that out, and it is my understanding that, because I'm not a tarot expert, I know I use tarot readers in my life to support me, and have done also for a number of decades. And at different times, but I find myself more and more working with archetypes, and the more knowledge and wisdom I have around different archetypes, and often I will refer to different archetypes that I do know in the tarot, like the Emperor or the Devil, and I find that is just so helpful in healing, in my coaching, in my psychic development, is working with that. So it's kind of just this beautiful extra tool that one could have.
For me, what is magical about the archetypes in the tarot, and I feel when we talk about the archetypes, we're probably talking about the majors, not the minors. If you don't know this, the tarot has 78 cards. The minors are similar to a deck of playing cards, and the major are this larger than life archetypes that talk about you as a person, your identity, how you show up in the world, your spiritual development, your deepest wounds, your desires, your aspirations, etc. For me, what's magical about it is that, one, you feel seen. Even when there isn't anyone understanding you, you resonate with the energy of the archetype, and in resonating, you understand where you are, where your energy is, and how you are positioned in the world. So that's number one. Number two, the tarot is about progression and growth. So if you feel that you are embodying an archetype that you don't want to be embodying, the tarot suggests what's the next step. So are you in this archetype? Here is the next one in the cycle. So there is, remember, hope and next step. So there is the hope that you can blossom, transition, embody something different, and there is already a suggestion or how you might go about it. And then I think the other thing that is quite magical is it really helps us seeing ourselves as like using that quality of being the observer within. Because while we can keep archetypes really close to our chest and feel like this is me, I am the emperor or I am the high priestess, but the moment we give it a name, we are also empowered to take that away from ourselves, look at it, heal it, evolve it, release it, and move on. So something that feels ingrained in our energy suddenly becomes something that we can observe and work with. So it's not Sole, it's the emperor. It's not Cindy, it's the high priestess. So that is quite empowering for us.
I'm just smiling because there's someone on the call who we actually used an archetype with today in a mentoring session, and she's smiling away at me, Monica, because we used it. I used an archetype today, and I just feel that really helps support, and it's that awareness. And as you say, because everything has a light and a shadow, you know, when you light the candle, there's a shadow. So it's brilliant to use in us being such the compassionate witness to ourselves.
Yes, absolutely.
Brilliant.
And sometimes, you know, let's say, again, I see that a lot of you maybe are already practitioners, healers, intuitives. It might be difficult for one of our clients to maybe heal the relationship with their father straight away, but working with the archetypes of tarot, that might be able to connect with the energy of the emperor and then slowly get a connection and an understanding for that energy. And that healing can happen almost at a archetypal level before we take it into personal experiences and the physical energy where we are right now. So it's really powerful, really powerful. And to think that this, you know, there are a lot of mystical and magical stories about where the tarot comes from. What we know is probably that it comes from the Renaissance in Italy. That's the actual historical bit that we kind of know about. But to think that this is something that's been around literally for hundreds of years and it's still relevant is just incredible. Incredible.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what is our next step? What is the next step? Where are you taking us now?
So what I would love to do with you all this evening is to just allow you to experience this for yourself, and to experience this for yourself without any preconceptions. So I'm going to talk you through a visualization. I'm not going to tell you what the visualization is about, but the core idea is connecting with the energy of the tool and really get a sense and guidance for yourself, even if you never touched a tarot deck, even if you don't own one or you're not proficient in using the cards, just to really get a sense for what the energy, the archetypes, the deep wisdom of the tool can do for you, and how this is relevant for you right now. Because again, I could tell you about, and by the way, when you approach tarot, this could be an entire different masterclass. Some of the decks are quite white, male-dominated, not very diverse, very old-fashioned. But there are now so many new independent creators that really bring that diversity to the tool and bring different ethnicity, different sexualities, different ages into the tool, and it still works. So that energy, we're not connecting with the energy of the tarot as it was in Renaissance Italy, although I'm sure that was a lovely time in many ways if you were in the right side of history. We're going to connect with it as it is now for you. So my invitation to you now is, let's do this guided visualization together, and let's set the intention to really bring that hope, that next step into your life and your awareness and guidance. And let's see what the tarot has to deliver for us this evening. Okay. So I'd love to invite you all to find a nice comfortable position on your chair or sofa, wherever you're sitting, and just allow yourself to be comfortable. And I always recommend, if you can, to have your feet on the floor and cross your legs and cross your arms. And just take one moment to connect with yourself. If this is the end of the day for you, just take a moment to connect with how you feel, how your body is feeling, your emotions, your thoughts. We're going to start with some beautiful grounding. Let's take our collective attention into our base chakra, and from there, for a strong root, and visualize it traveling down into the earth. Visualize a strong, resilient, visualize it going down into the earth from your base chakra. And as it connects with earth, it grows stronger and it travels even faster towards the center of the earth. Make that connection with beautiful grounding energy. And I invite you to feel this energy as it feels right now. Feel this grounding energy in the current vibration. How does Mother Earth feel right now? And allow that beautiful, strong, resilient, grounding energy to travel up into your own energy field via the strong root, and bringing grounding, expansion, protection into your own energy field. And feel your energy expanding, growing to a comfortable, expanded level. And hold this vibration. And again, I invite you to feel your energy as it is right now. And I'd like to take you on a little journey with me. Visualize yourself getting up from your chair or your sofa and going towards the door of the room that you're in, or the front door of your house. And once you get to that door, open it and step outside. But instead of seeing what you would normally see, there is a path ahead of you. And you start walking this path. And as you walk down this road, you start hearing noise, like happy, busy, buzzing noises in the background. And soon you realize that there must be a village, or a market, or a gathering of people. And you walk towards it, getting closer and closer, and you're quite curious to know where all this commotion comes from. And as you get down, notice how this gathering space looks like. Is it a village? Is it a public square? Is it a market? Just look around, and you might also see other people that are here with us tonight on this call. Recognize each other in this gathering. Busy, buzzing, loads happening, also people and energies. And suddenly you remember that you're holding in your pocket a little piece of paper that carries an issue, a hope, a desire that you have at this time. So I invite you to take this little piece of paper out and remind yourself of what is it, this challenge, this issue, this desire, or this need that you're now working with. And see what's written on this little piece of paper that you have with you. And this will be something that it's known to you. You will have awareness of this. You will also notice, if you lift your eyes for a moment, that other people around you also have a little piece of paper that they're referring to. Everyone is looking for something. Everyone perhaps has a challenge or a doubt or a desire or a need. Everyone is looking for something. And the more we realize that there are these needs and desire in this group, the more we're keen to find answers and guidance. So each person, you holding yours and everybody holding their own piece of paper, a challenge, a need, a desire, starts looking around for answers, support. And suddenly this very busy, active community becomes quieter and quieter. And everyone becomes focusing on something just at the end of the road. And you all notice that there is a table. Seems a bit strange at the beginning, a table located there, but everyone is curious. Everyone wants to go and see what's on this table. So everyone holding their desire or challenge or need goes towards this table. And there are 4 objects on this table. There is one large golden coin. There is one cup. There is one wand stick. And there is one sword. 4 objects lay on the table. One large golden coin, one cup, one wand or stick, and one sword. And I would like each and every one of you to take that piece of paper, remind yourself of your desire, challenge, or need, and intuitively pick one of these 4 objects. Which one is the one that could help you and support you in moving forward? Is it going to be the gold coin? Is it going to be the cup? Is it going to be the wand? Or is it going to be the sword? Just get a sense for each one of these objects and see what intuitively you're drawn towards. And you will notice people making their choices as well. And there is no scarcity. Everyone can take whatever object is needed for them. And you might notice that as more people connect with these objects, they get lighter, they feel brighter, they start to look more hopeful and expanded. And now that you have connected with one of these objects, just take one moment to see if you receive any messages, any clarity, any guidance, and just feel the energy of this object. What does it feel like? Does it bring you comfort, flow, courage, clarity, or any other feeling? And how is that helpful to you in your issue, your challenge, or your desire? Do you see anyone around you who is struggling to find the right object to help them? Please offer your assistance. And if you are the one struggling to find the right one, perhaps you're turning between two, you're second-guessing yourself, just look around and see if there is anybody else that would like to help and support you. Take this as a group, communal, collective experience where we receive guidance, we help others, and we receive help. And slowly but steadily, everyone makes a connection. Everyone is clear on which one of the 4 objects is the one that is going to help and support them. You might have received some guidance already. If not, just take the awareness that you have so far. Say goodbye to the other people around you. Visualize them walking away from the table. Visualize yourself walking away from the table as well. And finding your way back to the same path that took you to this meeting place. Walk back towards the front door of your building, of your house, of your flat. Visualize yourself coming back into the room, the physical room where you're in right now. Visualize yourself reconnecting with your physical energy. Bringing yourself back in the here and now, into your physical form. Check your grounding, make sure that you're fully back. And when you're ready, open your eyes, a little stretch, and bring yourself back. Okay. Are we all back?
What a mystical journey.
Did we all get a connection, a direct pull or something with one of the objects? Yeah? Okay. So I would like you to now bring to your awareness the object that you connected with, as well as this could be a challenge, a dream, a desire, a need that you have right now. And you have hopefully already received some guidance, but I'm just going to give some general guidance based on each of the 4 objects, okay? So if the object that you connected with that was calling you was the gold coin, this is in the wisdom of tarot, a pentacle, and pentacles, the suit of pentacles is connected with the element of earth. This is a deeply feminine rooted energy. And if you felt pulled towards the gold coin, let's take this from different levels. It could be a need and desire for grounding, stability, being able to know what's coming, being able to feel that there is a structure in place for you, connection with home, anything that would make your base chakra sing, anything that would make that connection with your home, with your environment, with your family stable. Pentacles are also connected, being a golden coin, with finances. So anything that has to do with the flow of money. So there might be some guidance that comes to you in the realm of financial stability. So it might be a problem, an issue, or a challenge where that element is something to look at, to clarify, to make sure that it is organized and structured and everyone is aware of what's happening around that element. As I said, it's a deep feminine energy. It's an energy that tends to be slow but steady. I often think about pentacles as the little acorn that then grows into an oak tree. And it is a very powerful energy for us to work when we want to put down roots, working with our feminine energy, working with tradition, family, structure, and a sense of home, coming back home, or mending home, whatever that means to you. So that is if you resonated with the pentacles, okay? If you resonated with the cup is connected with the suit of cups, which is water. Another feminine energy, but a lot more fluid. So the energy of the cups is all about our deep feelings and desires, our inner realms, our deepest and sometimes subconscious parts and realms of ourselves. So if this is something that has called you, it might be time for you to connect with deeper feelings, to bring that feminine, emotional, intelligent into the situation, issue, challenge, or desire that you were focused on. The energy of water always changes and can take many different forms. So it can also be an invitation for you to adapt and change. Still be yourself, but find different ways of expressing yourself and your identity. It is also an energy that is connected with intimacy and sexuality and pleasure and touch. So it might be something for you to consider in terms of reconnecting with the pleasures of life, whatever that means to you. So that's for the cups. If you were called by the wands are associated with the element of fire, and they're masculine energy, and they're all about action, creativity, entrepreneurship, ideas, being a little bit spicy, a little bit feisty, but also deeply magical and alchemical. So if this is the element that you were pulled towards, the situation, issue, or challenge that you're facing might benefit from a creative approach, or for being a little bit more strong, not necessarily being like angry about something, but maybe coming across as a little bit more opinionated or direct. It's the energy of fire is obviously warm and can be volatile. So in these circumstances is something where maybe being faster or quicker with the issue that you're dealing with might be beneficial. So if you've been sitting on this for some time, a more direct, faster approach might be helpful. And then the last element is swords. Swords are connected with air, and they are connected with the realm of everything that goes from the neck and above. So our throat chakra, our brow, our crown. So this is the realm of clarity, intuition, analytical thinking, good communication, and leadership. So if that's the element that you were drawn towards, it might be time to tap into those qualities and bring those qualities into this issue or desire that you have. But also with swords, another masculine energy, it's about being very focused and direct. And it might be also about applying the directness and clarity around cutting and releasing things. So very much like a sword, just cutting, moving on, releasing, chopping off the dead wood. So hopefully this all makes sense. Yeah? It resonated with people? Okay, good.
Very helpful. Thank you.
So this is like a tiny little breadcrumb of an idea of what you can get in like 5 to 10 minutes with tarot, without a deck, without this being your own individual reading, without knowing anything about it. You have already received as a group relevant messages. So this gives you an idea of the depth and power that the tool has. Does that make sense for everyone?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I have, Cindy, I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like there are a couple of things I wanted to chat about, maybe more about how the cards have changed with time. And how, like, if any of you is already a little bit of a tarot geek or interested in tarot, just making sure that there is a little bit more content around that, and figuring out some of these energetic upgrades and changes that we've seen in the cards. Because I think sometimes examples are the best thing ever. Yeah, shall we look at some?
Yeah, I think you should. Let's do a bit of a dive into there, for sure.
Yeah. So, I feel like we mentioned this gentleman already. By the way, these are my teaching cards. They're massive. Do not recommend you purchasing this for personal use. The Emperor, right? So this is one of the major arcana, and the major arcana of the Emperor has a very strong connection with masculine energy, a father figure, control, structure, war in some circumstances. This is the original energy. With upgrades in the universe, in humans, this now is a card that you might find still related to all the things that I mentioned, but also, for example, related to patriarchy as a structure, related to toxic masculinity, for example. Clearly, when this card was conceived and designed, they didn't know what patriarchy was. It existed, but they didn't necessarily call it that. They didn't know what toxic masculinity was, but the card has upgraded, is now more modern and current. Another example, the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is about an outward victory, having balance and victory, and having achieved a certain status that is recognized from the outside. But when you look at the card, you see that actually there isn't that much movement in the card, despite the name is very static. And it makes you feel that it's almost like what's the expression? A paper dragon, something that is like cut out of paper, but there isn't actually any substance behind it. And this now has also, so that victory, that stability, that I'm fine, everything is great, is now with the new energy being translated with someone that, for example, suffers from social anxiety or anxiety in general. So we put on this mask that everything is okay, that we're fine, that yes, work is fine, yes, family is fine, but deep down we might be very anxious. I've seen this representing agoraphobia in some occasions. So it's when we're just really trying to pull everything together and have that picture perfect life, or at least keeping it together, but deep down in the deeper waters of our emotions, there is a lot going on: stress, anxiety, all of that. So that's another example. Obviously, all of this didn't exist when the card was first created. Temperance, flow, connection. This is now associated with telecommunications and the internet. Clearly, this doesn't exist back in the day. The Sun, another one of my favorites. The Sun is success, visibility, renewal, being under this beautiful warming light of the sun. Now, as someone who has read for people that are so-called VIPs, this is the card of success, which then has been translated into someone taking a career path of being in the spotlight. So this could be someone who is an actor, someone who is a social media influencer, someone who is a content creator. So you might find this card in a career reading representing a social media influencer, for example. I'll do another couple very quickly. The Wands, they used to be, we talked about the Wands. This is the Ace, but it applies to the entire suit. Fire, connected traditionally with the professional being merchants and people who would travel and explore. Right now, you will always, not always, but frequently see the suit of wands associated with people that are entrepreneurs, startups, tech company, fast-paced, fiery, great ideas, fast-moving. Again, another update. So, final one that I'm going to do, Eight of Swords. This one kept on coming up during the pandemic. It talks about self-imposed restrictions and condition. And every time that there was a lockdown or a restriction of some level, this card would come up as a self-imposed restriction to our movement or to our actions. So hopefully with these practical examples, you can see how something that was created such a long time ago has shifted and changes today.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Those classic right away kind of cards. We're not looking at new artists. We're looking at how that is shifted with, and I find that a lot with the ancient arts, with astrology, with tarot, with even energy healing. The foundations are the same. It's the narrative within it that's changed, and the methodology is the same, right?
Yeah, and what's interesting with tarot is you don't, and I know that probably all of you are intuitives to a certain level or identify as intuitives or psychics. You don't actually need to be an intuitive to read tarot because there are so many different layers to it. The tarot in itself has meaning and has a structure. But then there is the intuitive element where one day you would look at a card and suddenly a little element would pop out to you and you would read only that one detail from one card. But then there is numerology, there is astrology, there is Kabbalah. There are all sorts of different elements and symbology baked into the cards. So it's a tool where if you're intuitive, great, you get loads of information. If you're not, it doesn't matter. You still get, because of the structure and the layers, you still get plenty of information and wisdom regardless.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's amazing. Sally, you mentioned something about numbers. Did you want to demonstrate that?
I think yes,
we've got a few more minutes and then we can do a bit of Q&A or something. But I'm always fascinated with this numerology.
Okay,
so we're going with tarot.
Yes, we're going to do a super quick exercise. I'm going to get you started and you can then go and research and journal and meditate deeper into this. What we're going to do is use the tarot and your birthday month, day and month to figure out in what energy you are right now. So we're not calculating your card that you had at birth, but we're calculating this year, right now, from your last birthday to the next one, in what energy are you? And this is a great tool to kind of get a sense of the macro overarching energy that is influencing you, the vibration that you are operating within, the shadow, but also the light. So pros and cons, the qualities, the drawbacks. So what we're going to do is very simple. Just grab yourself a piece of paper and you're going to write the day of your birthday. Then you're going to write down the month of your birthday. And then you're going to write down 2024, which is the current year. Okay? So for example, for me, the 9th of February, 2024. It doesn't matter if your birthday already happened or is still in the second half of the year. And then you're just going to add up the day, the month, and the current year, 2024, and reduce it down to a number that is between 1 and 22.
Can you give us an example of that?
So can I use you, Cindy?
Yeah.
Okay. So your birthday is the 3rd, so 3 of August, which is 8 plus 2024. That takes us to 2035 as a number. And then I will add the 2, the 3, the 5. That gives me a 10. Does that make sense? Easy, right? 2 plus 3 plus 5 gives me a 10. Does that make sense for everyone? Really straightforward. Just use a calculator, day, month, 2024. And then you reduce it down until when you have a number that is between 1 and 21. Okay? All right. I'm going to do like a super quick screen share for everyone. Okay. Hopefully you can all see my screen.
There we go.
So, if you have 1, your archetype of reference is the magician. If you have a 2, is the high priestess. If you have a 3, is the empress. If you have a 4, is the emperor. If you have a 5, is the Hierophant. If you have a 6, is the Lovers. 7 is the Chariot. 8, Strength. 9, the Hermit. 10, Wheel of Fortune. That would be Cindy in this case. 11, Justice. 12, the Hanged Man. 13, Death. 14, Temperance. 15, the Devil. 16, the Tower. 17, the Star. 18, the Moon. 19, the Sun. 20, Judgment. And 21, the Word. Okay, just going to slightly zoom out here so that we can see the entire layout. Okay, so just
Beautiful.
make a note. Yeah, make a note of day, month, year. Reduce them down to a number between 1 and 21. If you get a 22, you have a choice. You can either go for 4, which would be the Emperor, or you can take that as a 0, which would be the Fool. This is the archetypal major arcana that is influencing your energy from birthday to birthday. So from your 2024 birthday until your 2025 birthday. And as you get closer to your birthday, so for example, for Cindy, it's coming up in less than a month, she would already be transitioning into that energy. For me, my birthday is in February, so I'm kind of halfway through the energy of the year almost. So I'm halfway through that energy for this year. What this does is giving you a general sense for what the archetype at play is. Now, we don't have time to go through all the 22 cards, but my invitation for you is take that one card, and before you do anything else, don't Google, don't get the books out, don't do anything else. Just get the picture of the card and look at it. What does it look like? What stands out to you? What resonates? What doesn't resonate? What do you like? What do you dislike? What do you wish you had more of from this archetype? What do you wish you had less of from this archetype? And then what I like to do is imagine this card coming to a dinner party. Like, what type of person would this card be? Really feel that archetype, really feel that energy, and get guidance from that. First of all, journal, meditate, sit with it. There might be a symbol, a color, a shape, a number that really resonates with you. And take that as your guidance and support and overarching energy for you from your birthday in 2024 until your birthday in 2025. Then you can do the other research, you can do your Googling, you can get information from other people if you want, and all those great things. But what's important is that you make your own connection. Does this make sense?
So, like, can I just ask, the 29th of August is 8, is that correct? Because, you know, I'm a bit dyslexic with these numbers.
Sorry, 29th of August,
Yes.
it's 29 plus 8 plus 2024, that is 8, correct. Yes, so that would be strength. Yes.
Just double checking. Good.
Yeah.
Wow, it's magical, isn't it? It's like this in-depth kind of knowledge, but there's some history behind it. There's depth within it. It's just, yeah, I think it's really fascinating. So there's good news and bad news. The bad news is we need to start bringing tonight to an end, but I'm going to share the good news with you because it's not over. And I just want to talk about what's next. So
sorry, we're talking about the workshop first.
Yes, sorry,
yes.
We are.
Yes. So if you loved playing with cards this evening and you received good messages and just good insights and you're hungry for more, when we're going to meet the next time, which is the 30th of July, actually is all going to be a workshop. So it's all going to be experiential. It's all going to be going through cards, reading cards, connecting with the archetypes, connecting with the minors, connecting with the major. Now, I have to say, been doing this for around 30 years. I don't feel like I even scratched the surface of tarot. It is a lifelong journey, but so I'm not going to teach you everything about tarot in an hour and a half, but we're going to do a lot of really fun exercises. You will get your own personalized reading that you will do for yourself. And really enjoy loads of different techniques that you can apply straight away to the tarot and to yourself and to your questions. So I'm super excited about that. We'll have plenty of time.
So thank you, Soleil. And then do you just want to talk a little bit, because everyone who's registered for this will get a link to the workshop. Is that correct? That's how it's been set up.
Yes.
Okay. And then, I want to go backwards there. And then it's the month of tarot, and we've got the special where we're giving £15 discounts on the foundation and 150 Rand discount for people who join in the month of July. Yeah. So think about it. You've still got till the 30th. But if you want to join Soleil's tarot course, the foundation's in. What I'm really excited about is this is now accredited and it's progression. So it starts off with the foundation, moves into intermediate, and then goes into advanced. It is a beautiful process. And yeah, I think everyone, I don't know if you want to talk into that a little bit.
So this has been such a work of love, a labor of love. So the tarot course is something that I started very small, around 10 years ago, and then it became a day workshop, and then it became an 8-day course, and then it became 3 modules from beginners to intermediate to advanced. It is fully accredited. We have a code of conduct. We have loads of great exercises. We have ways of working with tarot for yourself and for your clients. We cover so many topics. With tarot, we need to always cover strong foundations so that you feel confident that when you see a card, you don't go, what's that? So there is that element of confidence and grounding that we also work on. But then there is space for plenty of creativity and expansion and intuition, and the group is always so supportive. There are people that made great friendships, that like I had people like meeting again after past lives together, becoming best friends. It's a very supportive course, and it's very empowering, and it's very current. So if you have a passion for tarot or any interest for yourself, for your self-development, to help and support the clients with an additional tool, I'd love to see you there.
Absolutely. Sorry, I've been trying to answer in the chat. There's some people who are slightly confused. It's definitely the 29th is definitely 20
day plus month plus the year. You don't do the individual numbers, you do the day, you do 29 plus 8 plus 2024. And then you only do the individual digits at the end.
Okay, great. So everybody, thank you very much. Sole, it's been a great fun evening. It's been magical, it's been mystical, but it's also brought some clarity. It's also brought in the energy of today. And I love all the descriptions, the energy, your story. And I'm really looking forward to the mini workshop that you're doing on the 30th. I look forward to seeing everybody there. And yeah, thank you very much. So thank you everyone for joining us. It's been a lovely evening and we look forward to seeing you all soon. You are all dear to our hearts. And those of you who are new, please reach out and be part of our community. Thanks everyone. Good
Bye.
night.
See you soon. Bye. Bye-bye.